Episode 308. We're still here in pretend flashback mode, sometime before the start of the game and after the calamity, and Komori is taking part in some very important knife training. I mean, she's not really training with the knives herself. It's sort of like that thing where you have an apple on your head and someone tries to shoot it off with an arrow or something. And I guess somehow this helped Komori reach level 50 as a rogue, by just doing this over and over again. She no longer fears knives, I guess. Spin move. Which means I can do all the quests up to level 50 for the ninja anyway. But I think in this episode we're just going up to the level 30 class quest with Rogue. And that'll probably be the end of our flashback. Our pretend flashback, that doesn't really make sense. A fine morning to you, Komori. And a fine morning it is for a spot of work, wouldn't you agree? This time round, it seems some eager buccaneer scampered aboard a local merchantman, I guess that means like a boat, and made off with a shipment of muskets. They call it a merchantman, like it's a person, but I guess it's a boat. Now, seeing as it ain't lawful to cloy from a limits invested to begin with, the Yellow Jackets fell upon them daft coves, before their boots was even dry. I think coves actually means boys or something. It seems to be interchangeable with less, based on what I was looking up with the dialogue differences on the wiki. I was mainly looking up how the entrance into the Rogues Guild goes differently, when they don't recognize you as a Warrior of Light from the Leviathan stuff and everything. And it seemed like while I was looking that up, coves was interchangeable with lasses, or something like that. They caught the pirates right there on the docks, but the stolen boomsticks was nowhere to be found, fenced in a longboat deal, I'm thinking. That's when our guild was officially contracted to retrieve the goods, which wasn't really needful, since the code would have had us on the job anyway. You don't bite the purses or your fellow Laminsons and all that. And he says that with some extra inflection directed towards Komori, who's known for stealing from Laminsons. I'm pretending. So this is your assignment, my lass. Find out where them weapons went, and bite that shipment back. Seeing as the cutters has hit that merchantmen are already rotten in irons, you didn't rush in with your stabbers stabbing. I want this job handled quick and quiet, and I have the perfect partner to show how it's done. Another senpai to teach us the ropes. This one that showed up in the cutscene. This here's Rikebe the Stray. Ain't no other rogue what can match her in the arts of skulkin'. A pleasure. There's some problem, Rikebe? You seem a bit out of sorts. I'm bloody starving. I had one of them finger sandwiches set aside. You know, those egg-filled tasties they make at the Bismarck. When I got back from my work, it was bloody gone. Oh, it wasn't us. And even if it was us, we would never admit it. Uh-oh. Was that Rikebe's? I thought it was Underfoot's. Okay, so it's okay to steal from Underfoot. Good to know. Well, you just head out on the job and I'll see if I can't turn up that missing sandwich by the time you return. Alright, Jack. What was code 1 of the pirate code or whatever it was? Don't steal from your fellow Laminsons. Something like that. One more little detail you should know. That muskets was meant for the Yellow Jacket's armory. So once all is once all is Bob, okay. You can hand the goods to one of their culls directly. Culls? Is that like another term for boys? Like coves? Nothing different. Okay. I was actually thinking about dyeing our scarf green to show our allegiance with the Rogues Guild here, which apparently all wears green. But I figure since I'm going to pretend that at the end of this, Komori's just going to go back to the usual red, the one that she was wearing when she rode into Ul'dah in the beginning of the game, I didn't really need to go shopping around for the same shade of green. I guess we're saying we're not really completely affiliated with the Rogues Guild. They're just taking us under their wing, and then they'll let us loose once we're, I don't know, once we've paid back our debts or something. It's like a parole/training thing. We can start running whenever you're ready, Kamori. I had a colleague keeping a waddle. A waddle? What's a waddle? A waddle out for out. Keeping an eye out? Is that what a waddle is? Jeez. Keeping a waddle out for out that might help us. So I suggest you have a few wids with her first. Wids or words. Okay. You find her at the higher line, posing as a fishmonger. These are like the only people in this world that talk like this. It's crazy. How does anyone even learn? They have to like stand in this room for hours and hours just absorbing the language. There's like no other source to learn it. Fishmongers, so I guess the fishmongers are actually up above. Oh, we have that move now. Our one AoE move. Until we get ninja or something. I think there's probably more AoE moves. I sort of sorted out my hotbar here. Actually, I think I prefer true north over there, even though north maybe makes sense to go up on the D-pad. But I'll probably know better once we actually get all the buttons for ninja. Why do they put the fishmonger so high up here? They have to like haul the fish from the ocean all the way up to this tower. It'd make more sense for it to be like near the ocean. But what do I know? Oh hey, it's you. At last down there, the one stinking of fish and ocean. Go over and ask her what the catch of the day is. Oh, is this another thing where we do some kind of special code and they give us a secret menu or something? Hello there, miss. We've carp and trout, lobster and shrimp, but I hear tell you've been looking for a special breed of fish. The long shiny kind. What sparkle put a bloke on its horse? We don't sell that kind here, but you might try them foreign merchants. What was they called again? Ah, the Traders of Edge. They are from the South Sea Isles. Interesting. And are known for dealing in all types of nasty spitters and cutters. Now hang on, the South Sea Isles, is that the one like even from Endwalker, like post Endwalker? I mean, we don't actually... There was like a special dungeon that went to the South Sea Isles. Or I might be thinking of a different Southern Isles, like the one with the what's it called? The Island Sanctuary? Are those the same Southern Isles? I don't think they are, actually. Well, whatever. I guess we'll get a better idea of where they're from once we actually see this person and what they dress like, maybe. Where was I? What was they called again? Ah, the Traders of Edge. They hail from the South Sea Isles and are known for dealing in all types of nasty spitters and cutters. I think I read that already. I should warn you, these folks ain't one for questioning the source of their merchandise. In fact, they seem more than happy to pay for goods what came from below deck, so to speak. But if you're still keen to get your hands on those rare fish, then you'd best hurry. The head merchant what's visiting Nimsa is looking to load up and leave the city before long. Just how he means to transport his goods remains a mystery, though. What was all the iron blades? Okay, a lot of apostrophes here. What was all the iron blades he's got nursing his operation? It makes it hard for a girl to get close enough to eyeball a competition, it does. I'll be sure to keep an eye peeled on your behalf. But it might be as you can learn a little more from the folk around town. I can see her nodding in the distance. Traders of Edge, eh? Well, if one of their merchants been staying in the city, then someone will know something to point us in the right direction. The trick is to listen without being seen. You'd be surprised how coals cackle when they think no one else is about. We'll focus on places which see plenty of traffic. You can have the Bismarck, the Ferry Docks, and East Hawker's Alley. I'll try me luck at a few other spots, then meet you in front of the guild when I'm done. Remember, keep hidden, keep quiet, and keep your waddles open. Waddles are eyes, okay. We're learning. I'm gonna forget immediately, but we're learning. Technically. Is it still learning if you forget? I don't know. Oh, they do actually want us to use hide. I was thinking they might. We got this thing, and this special ability that works when we're only out of combat and hidden. Which is actually, I guess, kind of useful as like an assassination move, sort of. Kind of. It only does like a bit more damage than some of your usual combo stuff. Like normally it's 400 from the rear, that's with the positional bonus. Whereas your full combo gives you like a 340. It's only slightly stronger than the end of your combo. That's a good way to start a battle, I guess, if you can actually pull it off. Also increases your damage for 15 seconds, so it has its uses, I guess. No, we're not here for that. That's the future. That's not happening right now. Komori's mixing up the past and the present. The one annoying thing about this is that it makes you 50% slower. You can sprint while doing it. It's not really sprinting though. Of course I don't have to be doing this right now, I can just exit it. Hide. And actually at this level we already have this too. This thing that makes us faster. I haven't really noticed that we're faster just in general. Diving Dove appears distressed by some matter. Approach her while cloaked by your hide ability and attempt to eavesdrop on her grumbling. Yeah, we're hidden. We're sneaking. Diving Dove is grumbling in discontent. The sneer on that customer's face. Does he think I can command the skillet to cook more swiftly, just to meet its pressing departure schedule? I don't know how things are done in the South Seas, but here in Limsa Lominsa, folk appreciate that fine cuisine cannot be rushed. Come now, Dove. I think I pronounced it Dove. It's probably Dove. We must not speak ill of the patrons. Now what was next on my list? Another finger sandwich for the dutiful sisters. Again, the comedy is surprising me here in the Rogue's questline. Someone there must be rather fond of eggs. We learned a little bit more than we should have, I think. No, I didn't actually think she'd turn around for us. How do I exit without... I guess I just have to do this. It's probably easier just to use the ability there, even if it makes a mess of the kitchen floor. I'm just donating a bunch of kitchen knives or something. Alright, where else are we going? Below decks and... yeah. What's this? Oh right, Blue Mage. Miu, still standing here even 5 years ago. Or however long the past was for this flashback. Gerulf is speaking in a low but lively tone to a nearby customer. Approach him while cloaked in your hide ability, and attempt to eavesdrop on his exhortations. Well, I want to see the failure dialogue at least once. An excellent choice. Might I also direct your gaze on these items on the bottom? Another customer. Welcome, welcome. Did you see aught you like? Pray stay and browse to your heart's content. And the same dialogue. Okay. Well, we can't actually like go shopping here. It's a fun way to use an ability, like outside of combat. Gerulf is hawking his wares to a customer. You have quite an eye for quality, sir. We have a splendid range of produce from every corner of Eorzea. One simply cannot visit Limsa Lominsa without sampling some of the local specialties. Would you care for some freshly squeezed Lenosian orange juice? Or perhaps our famed salt cod is more to your taste? Gerulf continues to espouse the virtues of his merchandise, but his impassioned urgings appear to have little relevance to your assignment. We will have some orange juice, though. How much do I want? I don't want like more than one stack. Actually, how much is a full stack? 999? Whatever, just give me a 38. Just as useless food that I can chug down whenever I'm going into a dungeon. And right now. Because this other food is special for if I'm going to like An actual at-level dungeon or Palace of the Dead or something. Not that I really need the stats, but... I guess we go down this way. Even faster to teleport, I know. Sometimes I just like walking. I want to hear this failed dialogue too. Nasu appears distraught. Approach him while cloaked by your hide, etc., etc. What to do, what to do? Oh, greetings, miss. Do you seek passage to airport? Or Costa del Sol, perhaps? No. Let's approach him from this angle. Sneaky-like. Nasu is mumbling anxiously to himself. Curse my sense of duty. Would that I had stayed at the wench for that extra pint, instead of returning early. I didn't ask to see anyone being bribed, and certainly not my relief pilot. I wonder what that merchant was about. Smuggling? Most likely. Should I report this to the Yellow Jackets? What if I'm being watched? Oh, you are, trust me. I could end up face down in the harbor. Well, maybe you will. But not because of us. That's not our job. Welcome back, homeboy. I hope your skulking went well. You might be an angel of death with a dagger, Dove. Is that like Cove? I don't know. But any rogue which shuns the shadows is headed for an early grave. A sneaky mort can nose about without risking a scrap, or slip herself into the best position to ambush a mark. Once they've seen you, though, your rum fund is done. Hiding is part of concealment, or part concealment and part distraction, and you won't be disappearing on a cove what already knows you're there. Yeah, just telling you can't use it in combat. Alright, I'm done traveling. What did you manage to learn about our muscatine merchant friend? Bribery. Slipping coin to a ferry pilot, was he? And by what you heard from that chef at the Bismarck, this trader means to hop the twig, and soon. That matches with my own findings. He's vacated his rooms at the inn, and paid his dues in full. Being a merchant, we can be sure that he won't be leaving without his merchandise. So here's the plan. We wait for him to stack his goods on the pier. Then you ghost him, or ghost in, and grapple them firearms. Grapple, there it is again. At least that one's easy. I'm hoping we can get the job done quiet and under the cover of darkness. But it never hurts to be prepared for the worst. Sounds like he's got a small army of spell swords, or cell swords on the payroll. Oh, we actually got like a solo duty. I'll send word to the Yellow Jackets, and have them post a call near Hawker's Alley. That way you won't have to have far to bolt, once you've bitten the goods. This mark should be along any moment, Komoy. Have you got your skulking boots on? Yes, the same boots that we've always had. I'm surprised they're doing a solo duty at level 10. I'm surprised they're doing it at all for like up to level 30. Or like the quest up to level 30. I spotted the mark at the end of the pier. Sneak over there and lighten his load. Oh, they want us to like learn sneaking, I guess. Like actually in combat and whatever. I guess that makes sense for a solo duty. But we've been through like the Palace of the Dead, we know how to do this. Like without sneaking. Not that we have to, but we could. Well, Palace of the Dead involves waiting for them to turn around. That guy walked around. We could maybe get by this guy. Oh, wait. Never mind. No, please. I'm leaving. I never meant to be here, I swear. This guy's not going to chase me forever, right? He might just chase me forever. Normally mobs don't aggro for this far away. But I guess for this one mission they do. I had to just go and test the limits, I couldn't just press the button, could I? But it would have been fun to try to sneak around them using Palace of the Dead skills, but I guess we don't have that yet, here in the flashback. Or we'll just say we lured this guy away to kill. Kind of a waste of time, but okay. Alright, fine, we'll do the hiding. I guess you could just go in and kill them all, huh? We would be able to get around this guy without hiding. Well, actually, no. This is like where the wall is right here. Okay, we could get around him now. But then he turns around, so never mind. It feels a bit weird just kind of walking in front of them like this with a hide ability. Doesn't feel like we're really hiding, you know? Okay, fine. I'm pretty sure this guy isn't from the Southern Sea Islands from Endwalker, or whatever it's called. Doesn't look the part, and actually... You know what, I wouldn't know what looks the part. Actually, those islands aren't inhabited by anyone in present day, right? You're not supposed to be here. I thought I ordered my hirelings to keep the steady clear. 1, 2, 3... There's one missing. Oh yeah, we killed one of your guys. Oh no, wait, he's talking about the firearms. My crate of muskets, it's gone. Thief, stop her, you useless suckers. What am I paying you for? Okay. Fighting our way out anyway. So much for sneaking. Stun him. It's fun to just throw stun in there every once in a while. Tell the enemy that they are not allowed to move for a little while. It only lasts for 3 seconds though. Still just kind of fun to weave in there. Sink past any other swans in your way and get them goods. What'd you say? And get them goods to the Yellow Jacket. I'll lead these calls a merry chase. Meet me in front of the guild once all is Bob. Okay, we're going this way. Oh, we're sinking. Glad I read the description. I guess we could fight through all these guys, but... It's actually good that they let you go through this without failing the mission the moment you get spotted. At least I assume for this part too. The same way we angered that one guy. Or aggro that one guy. Because it would be annoying if they just happened to aggro one thing and had to repeat the entire thing. But it's still proper that you do things faster if you just sneak past everyone and don't deal with the combat. Does that cancel? That cancels, okay. Alright, these are our stolen muskets. The quartermaster will be pleased. Again, just kind of weird that we're walking in front of them while hidden. But it's more of a tutorial for gameplay, I guess, than it is for being in lore, like sneaking around or whatever, I guess. And I guess all those guys vacated the area. That turned hairy, didn't it? Dove? Dove? Does that mean love? Maybe Cove is an insult and Dove is good? They're only like one letter apart, though. Once he reaches the Yellow Jacket, though, the merchant called off his blades. Wise enough to cut his losses, I'll give him that. I'd say we're all done here. Let's head inside and tell Jack the bad news. I heard the sounds of fighting coming from outside, and now I've whittled the cause of it. I thought we were aiming for subtle on this job. You can blame us. We're not very good at sneaking yet. That many swats was there, but you got the yellow jackets what they wanted, so all's well that ends well, eh? Yeah, doesn't matter if we sneak well or not, as long as the job gets done. You're on your way to becoming a first-class rogue, Komori. Now, the job didn't unfold exactly as planned, but do you see the value of keeping out of sight? Skulking might seem slow, but it can save you time, and a fair amount of bleeding in the long run. Now, speaking of unexpected developments, I have a bit of bad news for you, Vikebi. I searched high and low, but it seems some unprincipled cove has yaffled your sandwich. Yaffled? Another new one. You could have just said grabbled. They were not but crumbs to be found. No, my sandwich. It was a Bismarck special. Do you know how much I was looking forward to that meal? My belly's about ready to cave in on itself. 'Tis a tragedy of the highest order, love. Okay, so they say love and dove, so they can't mean the same thing, probably. And you know I can't bear to see me rogues in such distress. Oh, they busted out the sad music for this. So I gave Underfoot a special assignment. He should be back any moment now. With a freshly made Bismarck special finger sandwich. You did that for me? You're not japing with me, are you, Jack? This ain't no japing matter. 'Tis the Guildmaster's responsibility to see that all his coves and morts are at their best for their job. Oh, Jack, there you are. I got that sandwich you ordered. And didn't the chef give me a waddleful when I said I was in a hurry? Maybe next time you could think twice before you yaffle a fellow rogue's sup... Oh, bollocks. Jack, did you eat my supper? Now, lass, let's not be hasty. There's a fresh new sandwich right here for you. No, I'm done, eh? You've cloyed something what belonged to me, Jack, and I can't ignore the code. Aye, the code. You mustn't ignore the code. You're having a laugh, aren't you, lass? Lass? This is a good lesson for Komori about the code. That might be the swiftest string-up I've ever seen. The punishment to fit the crime. Take a good long look, Komori. The code exists to preserve peace in them, sir. To keep the alleys from running red with blood. This city's me home, and I'll draw daggers on any cove fool enough to threaten that peace. A pointed lesson. Let's head inside, eh? Your sandwich will get cold. Hey, do you mean to leave me here all night? At least it gave me a grand view of the harbor. God's piss, these ropes are tight. Hang in there, Jack. And now we find ourselves indebted to the Rogues Guild. The Rogues Guild. The impropriety of it all. I thought I could see them occupying a cell next to those thieving pirates. Pirate politics. With the rogues. Is Jack still hanging there? Actually, where was he hanging from? Up there? Probably over there. I'm sure he's back in the guild by now. Now, that mouth will leave chafe marks for a bleeding week. I may wriggle myself free. That's the last time I let me belly do the thinking. And just think, Vikebi strung me up over an egg sandwich. Those coves what well and truly stomp the code get it far worse. Keep up your training, lass, and you'll soon be handing out rogue justice yourself. Throwing dagger. Come away, just the mort I was hoping to see. Leave some nasty trouble brewing. XIV's on his way, so sit tight and pay attention. I'm calling Underfoot and the Stray on this as well. It'll be a right little rogue family reunion. Jack, the client's arrived. Our guest here has come from the Maelstrom Command, with confidential orders direct from the Admiral herself. So you know this won't be a simple job. I'm afraid your guildmaster speaks truly. 'Twas several days ago when an emaciated man stumbled into one of our camps seeking aid. Upon questioning the poor fellow, we discovered that he had narrowly escaped a life of slavery. He claimed that pirates had raided his village, abducting him and many others to sell on a black market auction block. We dispatched a patrol to confirm the tale, and found the village almost completely destroyed. It was a meager settlement without so much as a guardhouse. Thus did its unkind fate escape our notice until now. You'd think these pirates had never heard of the code. Pillaging honest coals and dipping their wicks in the slave trade, they're headed the right way for a good stabbing. Aye, though it ain't set down in so many words. So many words? The code's notoriously unforgiving against those as raise weapons against the weak. After all, the first pirates in these parts were culls what was fleeing oppression in the northern seas. Ignore your history, and you risk becoming what it was you hated most. So you have a mark for us, then? That we do. From the descriptions given to us by the escaped villager, we've determined that these lawbreakers are members of the Jolly Merchants. Another fun name. A pirate crew in possession of an official privateering license. What was the other one called? The Dainty Demolishers or something? Sounds like another case of that. It would appear, however, that privateering has been naught but a screen behind which to hide their illicit activities. One can only imagine how many other elements and citizens have fallen prey to these wicked slavers. And we've let it happen right under our very noses. Naturally, the Admiral desires a swift resolution to this ignominy, but merely tracking down those poor souls who have already been sold is proving heavily taxing to our allocated resources. We could throw more soldiers at the problem, but that runs the risk of drawing the small folks' attention and inciting undue panic. Thus do we come to the Rogues Guild for help. We ask that you eliminate the Jolly Merchants and liberate the villagers presently in their custody, and that you do so with the utmost discretion. Consider it done. When those nasty coves will feel our short blades picking into their backs, they'll enjoy but a brief moment of regret before the code is rightly enforced. Alright, let's get to work. I'll be going after the Jolly Merchants myself. Underfoot, Rikebe. You two lend your skills to the Maelstrom's investigation, and see what you can whittle about the coals, what have already been sold. I thought whittles was words. Komoy, you're coming with me. I think you're ready for the next step of your education. Oh yeah, I guess we're gonna learn how to throw a knife in this quest. Or I guess we'll get it at the end of the quest, but still. No longer being the person getting knives thrown at them, we get to do the knife throwing. We've finally been promoted. Your aid and confidentiality in this matter is greatly appreciated. We can now focus on coordinating with the Yellow Jackets to free those unfortunate folk already sold into slavery. These jolly merchant bastards won't be so jolly once we catch up to them. I thought they might be comedy, but if they're slavers, I guess that's not very comedic. I have no doubt you and Jack can handle a few ale-sodden pirates, but if you need an extra set of fanballs, another word for hands, I guess, just say the word and we'll be there. Shall we get after these slaving cutthroats then? Our clients tell me that the Jolly Merchantmen set sail from Aleport a few bells ago. Oh aye, they might even board an Imperial ship or two, but that's just some mummery they're putting on to amuse the Admiral's swans. I reckon the rest of the crew'd be back on land, looking to snap the shackles on a fresh herd of chattel. And just to prove me theory right, one of them jolly bastards got himself spotted creeping about the Ruffmans in Lower Lenosia. There's a Ben Cove. Wait. A good cove? No wait. Is cove not bad then? Because if you're saying it's a good cove, then Then it just is neutral, I guess, I don't know. There's a bend cove over at the Morby dry docks, by the name of Swarsnid, what'll likely know the full story. He's more of a shipwright than a rogue these days. Then hopefully he talks more like a shipwright than a rogue. But he keeps his glazes keen for the guild. Head over and have yourself a prattle, and I'll join you soon, like. Go speak with Swarsnid about that jolly merchant, and I'll be with you directly. Okay. I was actually hoping to reach level 30 today with the quests. This is like level 15, right? Yeah. Well, I guess we'll flashback for like an extra episode. One more episode than planned. We don't have you in this flashback, we're just ignoring you. Are there any mounts that we would have had in the flashback? We only have these 3 mounts. I guess the only one that would make sense maybe is this antelope stag. I don't know. Probably no mounts would make sense for a flashback. I know what you are. What can old Swarsnid do for you? Okay, good. He doesn't talk like them. Hunting down jolly merchant slavers? Oh, well, that explains a few things. I was keeping an eye on the bustle. Okay, is that rogue talk? An eye on the bustle about the dry docks. No wait, bustle is just the normal use of bustle here. Okay. You see, when I spied an odd trio off in the distance, this rough-looking sod, one of your pirates, I'd wager, was prodding along another bloke with this poor skinny lass. I've seen whipped curs less miserable than the two being herded. Last I saw, they were headed south. If what you're saying about this slavery business is true, then that jolly merchant's not going to walk his charges all the way to the market. No, he likely has a boat waiting for him. And if I were a slaver headed south, my vessel would be heading somewhere along the Salt Strand. That doesn't leave you much time. He said Jack was on his way, yes. You'd best go on ahead, and I'll point him in the right direction when he gets here. Search the coast along the Salt Strand and you'll find your slavers. Shouldn't be long before Jack arrives, so I'd stay out of sight until he joins you. We certainly didn't unlock flying in the flashback, so we're ignoring this too. Just for the interest of time. They call it salt, but it seems more like crystal. Oh, but hide while doing it. Okay, we can't hide while doing it. Voicing came through for us, eh? Now what do we got here? This one looks a charmer. Saw didn't move, I told her. My peg-leg grandma was quicker than you miserable sacks of shite. Or maybe you need another thrashing, is that it? You already forgot what happens when you try me generous patience. I'm sorry, please, no more beatings. We walked as fast as we could. We need food. Water. Then get in the boat and shut your traps. You'll get fed when we reach the other side. The other side? Where are you taking us? Are you challenging me, or just plain daft? I told you to keep your blatant mouth shut. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. The white and scaly arse, she's weeping again. Listen, we're headed to airport, all right? That's where me and me shipmates gather to take stock of the merchandise and decide what gets sold where. You see, some buyers want only lads, while others is looking for lasses. As long as we keep these rich bastards happy, we make more coin than we ever did scrapping with the Empire's war galleys. Not that you care about that, I suppose. What matters to you is that you'll be loaded on the jolly merchantmen, sailed off to gods know where, and them so be a distant memory. So if I was you, I'd fill that empty belly with one last gobful of sweet Lenosian sea breeze. I'm so tempted to put a blade twixt his eyes here now. That won't get the job done. No, we'll let him guide us to his mates in airport. Then we'll mill the whole bloody lot of them. The jolly merchants will get their due. Don't you worry about that. They've gone. We'd best hurry to airport. Unless you have a quicker way. There's a ferry what leaves from Candlekeep Way. I'll meet you across the water, lass. Did we have teleporting in the flashback? You know, I don't think we had teleporting in the flashback. You learned teleporting as part of your introductory quest to like the city-state that you arrive in. It's like one of the required quests that you learn, return, and everything. And also attune to the first Aether, right? So I guess that's another strike against this being a flashback. We're just ignoring every single strike. Including mounting up. Komori's memories are hazy. She blends the present and the past a little bit frequently. Komori, that jolly merchant Cove still was his captors. Seems they've taken a room under an alias. Hiding their operation in plain sight. Bold as brass, aye, but it's an old slaver's trick. See if some call recognizes some merchandise, only a single handler gets boned. The rest of the crew just whistles, all innocent-like, while their mate is marched off to cry cockles. And you can bet they've threatened bloody murder for any prisoner what raises a hue and cry. Patience now, lass. We'll just wait until we're sure that all these blackguards have arrived. Meanwhile, you'd better sharpen your stabbers. We have a busy night ahead of us. Another solo duty. Ready for the job, then? Once the jolly merchants are all here, we'll ambush the sods and set their captives free. I like this, though. It's more fun than just, like, going around talking to people. We get to participate. That ought to be long enough. We'll just have to hope there ain't any stragglers. Listen closely now, lass. The merchants are disguised as plain old venturers, and have settled themselves in 3 separate rooms here in Ailport. How do we whittle which coves are the merchants? Easy. Take a look at the daddles of that bingo swilling coal over yonder. He's wearing lavender gloves. The exact same type with that nasty sod at the Salt Strand hat on. That'll be how they find each other in a crowd. Of course, it's also how I discovered where each one of the bastards was staying. Just snilch. Peep, check out. Just snilch the hopeless gazes of the company they keep, and you can be sure you've found your mark. So here's the job all laid out for you. We hit all 3 common rooms, mill the merchants quick and dirty like, and get those captives their bleeding lives back. Alright? Boy, the storeroom door has been forced open. Some thieving sods been at the ale. Well, they can't have gotten far. Better get the lads and do a sweep of the port. Was that merchant Cove gulping pilfered ale? You'd think they'd be doing their best not to draw attention to themselves, all things considered. Bloody elves. And now we got a swarm of yellow jackets buzzing about, looking for blood. If they spot us wandering around in the darkments, I have a feeling they'll... Okay, wait, what's darkments? Like in the night? Or the shadows? Or is it both? Wandering around in the darkments, I have a feeling they'll axe first and ask questions later. It'd be best then if the patrols never even knew he was here. We'll slip as sneaky as we can into each of the common rooms, and use them telltale lavender gloves to identify our marks. There's innocent culls in there as well, mind, so let's try not to stab any as don't deserve it, eh? We'll try. I'm thinking we should head out one at a time, to better avoid them yellow jackets, so I'll let you take the lead. After you, Komori. Stealth. Our marks are behind the doors up ahead. Don't let them yellow jackets see you. Don't worry, we're done, testing our limits here. The door opened due to the breeze. That's all. Interesting. I think these guys are just like random people that are in the room. They're like sharing a room with the prisoners, even though they don't know. Because only the guys wearing the pink clothes are the jolly ones. Would this quest immediately fail if we tried attacking one of these guys? We'd have to take out these guys though. Oh, and we can use this now. How fun. And of course these guys don't care. It's fun how they use the guys that don't aggro on sight to indicate that these guys are just like random adventurers that have nothing to do with like the Yellow Jacket patrols or the Jolly Merchant stuff. I guess there might be some players that actually rush in and just attack whoever looks like they might be an enemy. This is fun though. You don't really get stuff like this in other classes, I think. I guess healers sometimes involve healing other NPCs as part of their solo duties or whatever. Never really anything like this though in other DPS classes. Do any of these increase our attack? Not really. Assassination. Oh, that's fun. They even comment on us fighting, like... It'd be weird if they saw us fighting and didn't even move an inch. And they're not moving it an inch, but... They are commenting on it like it's a rowdy bar fight or something. That's fun. And actually, I guess this one over here even cowered in response to our attack. That was interesting. If we attack these guys, I imagine it probably wouldn't end the quest, and we just assume that we don't actually kill these random adventurers, that we just kind of, like a rowdy bar fight, knock them on their asses. And maybe even the jolly... whatever they were called, I'm forgetting already. The jolly merchants. I guess we're maybe not necessarily killing them, but also just knocking them out to send to jail. It's not very clear. I guess it doesn't really matter. Where else do we have to check? Not over there. I actually didn't know we could go inside all of these rooms this entire time. Under the cover of darkness. Oh, I'm sorry, under the cover of darkness. Whatever that means. Oh, there you are. That looks to be the last of them, and you didn't even need my help. Actually, I forgot he was here. Back into the shadows fast. Oh. Things going south right at the very end. How exciting. It just keep on coming in. Gotta be careful not to target one of these guys, that's just a bystander. How'd they spot us though? That wasn't because I failed sneaking or something, right? It seems like Jack was saying we did a good job at that, so... Yeah, it seems like they just did that as part of the script or something. I've just finished reading the report. In addition to liberating those unfortunate Lamentin citizens, you've done much to cripple the Jolly Merchant saving operation. Thank you. The Admiral shall be most pleased. Not a bad night's work, eh, Komoy? The maelstrom will be taking care of them poor coals we freed, and I've made sure none of the merchants we downed are like to get up again. Okay, so we did kill them, got it. But it also implies that the ones that we downed weren't necessarily killed, like us, if he's saying he finished the job. It's always kind of up in the air, whether or not you're killing the targets that you reduce to 0 HP or whatever. As for the Jolly Merchantmen, well, the crew can expect a visit from the Admiral's finest galleys, and it won't be for tea and crumpets on the poop deck. Right, me natty lass. Our part in this is done. Time to head back to the sisters. Excuse me, are you the one who freed us? Aye, was there something else we could do for you, miss? The maelstrom squads will take you home, if that's what you're worried about. Oh no, I know. I just wanted to... Thank you. If I may, there was one other thing I wish to tell you. Moments before you rescued me, that dreadful pirate was muttering into his cups. It was something about another raiding party that hadn't made it back yet. I beg your pardon. It seems they'd been hunting for slaves in western Lenosia, and, being so close to airport, our captor assumed they were out rounding up the chattel, until the last bell. I just couldn't bear the thought of anyone else suffering as I have. Please, is there naught you can do? There certainly is, miss. You just get yourself safely home and leave this stray pack of jackals to us. I'll pray for your success. Thank you again. So much for saving a victory point. I'll send word of this development to Underfoot and Distray. Leave some well-earned trade. Leave some well-earned trade for the last of these jolly merchants. Some well-earned trade. Some well-earned... I don't know. Like we have some business with some? By the by, how's your tone on, Komoy? I think it's time I learned you how to fling a proper blade. When you're out in the wide open roughlands, you often find the need to sting a cove from a distance. I'm sure a canny lass like yourself will figure all sorts of uses for a well-toned dagger. Just keep it in mind when we hunt down the rest of them savers. Doesn't do much potency, but very important for melee DPS to have at least, well, usually just one ranged option. For whenever they buy the mechanics of the fight or whatever, can't be right next to the enemy. And also for pulling and whatever. Oh, we learned Mug here. That's good. Those last few jolly merchant bastards must be camped out somewhere in western Lenosia. Now if I was a black-blooded guild-grubbing slaver, where would I be hiding? It's not to the west, but the Sagan Pools. Even those bollocks for brains pirates, no better than to trespass on fishback territory. And they won't want a chance running into patrols near Airport, for that just leaves us east. The Falk? Aye, they'll likely be nestled down in the ruins out there amongst the dodos. That's where we'll try to pick up their trail. You head on over and snilch the place, right, spy on. Head on over and snilch the place while I send word to the sisters and the maelstrom. Okay. Nothing new there. What is all this anyway? I know the dodos like hang out here, but... Is this like that place I was mentioned in the previous quest, the place I was ransacked? That's not like the lore of this area, right? I guess it must have been like destroyed even longer ago. Ah, here we go. Right into it then. Thank you for freeing us. We've been tied up here ever since those awful pirates snatched us from our beds. There were some interesting looking dodos you've got there, Komoy. No sign of the merchants, though, eh? The leader mentioned heading over to airport. He said something about there being no signal, and that was a signal that something was wrong. They just left us hobbled here like lambs for the market. One of them japed about keeping the meat unsullied in case there was trouble. Pray let us flee this place before they return. And who are you to just sidle in and let loose our hard-won prizes, hmm? It was the damnedest thing. We'd half a crew lodge in an airport, and not a one of them survived the night. Done in by a couple of sneaky curs what favored the short blades, they say. I'm supposing that was you two. Seems you have a bone to pick with our choice of trade. I can't say I have much use for slavers, except as a place to bury me knives. Oh, and I wouldn't bother yourself with waiting on your ship to come back neither. The jolly merchants are done for. Hee, you might have the right of it, lad. But then you wouldn't know the kind of coin three earthy slaves like them ones will bring us. I'll have a new ship and a new crew before a single moon has passed. Really? That's how much you get? Kinda crazy. You hear that, chattel? You're each worth a shining bloody fortune. And you've me help to thank, and you've me to help. No. And you've me to thank for helping you learn your true worth. Ignore this bleeding sod. In fact, why don't you step back a ways? These codes are about to learn the consequences of breaking the code, and the discussion is like to get messy. Did you not think we'd come for you? You can try to stifle your victim's screams in the darkness, but the shadows are always listening. I like the composition of that shot, with him below and us above also getting ready to fight. The composition kind of gets worse when you consider that we're obscure due to our height. It'd work better if we were a little bit taller, that shot. Doesn't matter though. They got trained dodos. Incredible. Oh, don't get near the birds, okay. I guess we can play that game, sure. They do go down in one hit, basically. We don't have the AoE yet, so I guess that makes sense. I guess the idea is that the birds move slow and you're supposed to keep your distance. I think that's it for birds. And that's it for the duty, I think. Oh, now they arrive. Underfoot is here to get underfoot. Is that his catchphrase? Or at least I would be if any bugger was still left standing. It's a fine pile of coins. There's naught for us to do. No scraps for latecomers. Lass and me out of hunger. I was actually thinking there might be more to this, but no. They do just arrive late. That's kind of funny. Thank you. I shudder to think what horrid fate awaited us had you not helped us to escape. I knew someone would come. You're just like the heroes in the stories. They always arrive at the perfect time. Right. Not the guys in the background. We arrived at the perfect time. And triumph over the villains. Do you think I could be a hero like you? I know I could be brave and strong too. I just know it. You don't want to be like me, lad. Okay, so apparently he has no problem picking up street urchin Komoi off the street. But this kid's too good for the life of a rogue. What does that make us? Listen now. Me and those coves there, we're the ones what the scary folk are afraid of. And that's because we keep the rules of the world they live in. We don't much care if you shirk your chores or get into fights. But if you ever break the code and betray your mates, then that's when we'll come after you. No matter how far you run, or how well you hide. Live your life like the hero you want to be, though, and you'll never need to worry about that. Hey, you two can stumble it, and all. Ah, there she is. I assume you are the citizens who were abducted by the Jolly Merchants. I am Captain Malala of the Yellow Jackets. Maelstrom Command has entrusted me with conducting you to safety. Malala? Have we dealt with Malala before? It seems like a familiar name, but I'm just imagining it. It's alright, lad. These folk will take care of you. Go on, you'd best not get left behind. Was there aught else, Captain? Word on a new job? A job? From me? For you? How patently absurd. I'd rather hire a sewer rat to mind my larder. Was it during one of your jobs that you turned Airport into a bloody slaughterhouse? Okay, she didn't say bloody, but I guess I imagined it. What dark age is this that we must employ assassins to enforce the law? I mean, well, I guess, but we're the good guys. It is this continued dalliance with underworld miscreants such as you that prevents Limsa from ever fully expunging the stain of piratical infection. I didn't know piratical was a word. Look at these weapons you bear. A civilized person uses such implements to carve meat or peel fruit, and leaves them at the table where they belong. Do you perhaps clench them twixt your teeth as you swing over the rails, like the pirates you hunt? Our fair city has no place for those who refuse to abandon the brutish ways of the past. The only champions of justice this nation requires are the valiant and forthright soldiers of the Yellow Jackets. Jack, what the bloody hell does this call want with us? I've not the foggiest idea, love. Just smile and nod. I've not come here to be patronized. I've come to put a decisive end to piracy in all its forms. Consider this visit a gauntlet thrown at the collective feet of the Rogues Guild. Heed well my words. Just before dawn this very morn, a maelstrom vessel stocked with provisions was boarded and looted by pirates. Much of the cargo was stolen, and that is vexing indeed. But it is the theft of 3 items in particular, 3 unique treasures of nigh incalculable worth, that most distresses my martial colleagues. As for the brigands, they made well their escape, disappearing into the dawn's mist along with their precious plunder. A rum tale? What's it to do with us? I challenge you, a contest to reclaim these stolen treasures. Should my Yellow Jackets and I succeed in retrieving the greater share, I shall formally propose the abolition of the Rogues Guild. Upon review of our achievements, the Admiral will surely concede that your unscrupulous institution has outlived its usefulness. Now blow out your waddle. I've better ways to spend me time. How do you now? This incident constitutes a theft against the nation of Limsa. Does that not violate your beloved code? If I'm not mistaken, you've no choice but to rise to the occasion. Unless, of course, you mean to slink back to your hole and abandon the fundamental precepts of your duty. All right. You're screeching shrew. You've made your bloody point. And we'll be sorry And you'll be sorry that you did, I promise you that. Your paltry promises amount to naught in the face of my conviction. I shall not rest until Insolumenta is free of every last buccaneer, scoundrel, and shadow-dwelling ne'er-do-well. What now, Jack? For right now, we head back to the sisters. Okay, back to the sisters. Once again, it seemed like things were wrapping up right on time with the end of the episode, like right on the hour, and then the cutscene goes on a bit longer than I expected. I guess I should learn to expect differently, but that's fine. It just means that for the next episode, which should be the last of our pretend flashback, I guess, we should be able to wrap up with the level 25 and level 30 quests. Because that was a level 20 quest just now, right? Or... no, that was level 15 part 2, never mind. Well, okay. Well, still, hopefully we can wrap up with the Rogues Guild quest line, level 20, 25, and 30, all of those quests, within the hour. For a wee lass, that Malala's got some bollocks, and it seems she's done well. She's well done with aught but whiffs of pirate stock. Okay. I don't take kindly to Cole's pulling me strings, but the shrew is right. The code's been broken, and we've a job to do. From the sounds of it, though, them coves knew what they were on about, or knew what they were about, when they cloyed them treasures. I'll need you at your best. It's time you learned the art of mugging. Okay, finally. Rough up a Cole in just the right way, and he'll give up more than what you give him, more than what you get, if you just plain knocked him on his arse. Me and the lads will be busy whittling the story... whittling? Talking? Whatever. Busy whittling the story on them bit and baubles. I guess it's not talking, it's like listening or getting the story or learning something. Be busy whittling the story on them bit and baubles, so you're free to head out and sharpen your skill. Might even be as you'll pocket some extra blunt while you're at it, eh? Without breaking the code, of course. We know this by now. Alright. And I guess Komori's gonna practice her mugging skill on people in the Thieves Guild, because that's fair, right? That's not breaking code 1. I mean, if Jack is allowed to do it, then so are we. Now would be a good time to take a break.